With my $20, I decided to donate to the World Wildlife Fund because I've seen a lot of stuff in the media recently about climate change and how what we've done to the environment doesn't have much time to change back. So I wanted to be a part of reversing what we've done.
I decided to give my $20 to a group of Girl Scouts who were giving out cookies, and I just thought instead of buying cookies, I should just give them a profit of $20 and make their lives better and help them with all their funds that they need.
I decided to donate the $20 towards cancer research with the American Cancer Society. Personally, there's been a lot of people in my family that have been affected by cancer, and I think a lot of people's families are affected by cancer. I felt that I was doing my part to help in something kind of bigger than myself.
I decided that I was going to donate my money to an organization called Dawn. Dawn is led by students at Penn State University and is committed to enhancing the lives of children and families impacted by childhood cancer.
So one of my friend's mom, she unfortunately passed from brain cancer a few years ago, and she told a few of my friends and I that she was going to be making and selling friendship bracelets, and all of the money that she got donated to her was going to be given to a foundation that helps families afford the care that they need for loved ones who are affected by brain cancer, brain tumors, or anything along those lines. My sister is actually affected by brain tumors, and she had brain surgery around a year ago. So I donated Mrs. Ulmer's $20, but I also gave back $40 of my own money as well.
I donated to the Devereaux Foundation, which is a foundation that supplies funding and education mainly for kids with special needs in many states across the country. My great uncle used to be one of the people in charge of the foundation, so it's kind of a very close foundation to me, and it made me feel really not only in touch with my family, but also really happy that I could help out these special needs kids that I know my great uncle and my grandmother always really loved to help out.
I decided to buy pads and tampons for women in domestic abuse shelters. I decided to do this because you often see people donate their old makeup that they don't use anymore, to these shelters. But it got me thinking that we're telling these women that all they need to make them feel better is a better appearance, when really they need these health products. This challenge made me really upset because I really was able to see how expensive pads and tampons were. I was only able to buy 4 boxes, and even then I went over the $20. It made me learn that we should not be treating women this way. This is a product that women need.
So for my $20 prize, I decided to combine 2 things I love in order to do a small act of kindness to give back to the community. So the first thing that I love to do is give back to people in need anytime that I can. And then the second thing is that I love dancing. I'm at my dance studio almost every day of the week. At my dance studio right now, we're giving donations to a foundation called Traveling Tutus. And this is a foundation where they collect old or new dance costumes and supplies, and they collect them and then they deliver them to not only kids in the US but also kids all over the world. Some kids who want to experience the joy of dance don't always get to because they don't have the right supplies or everything they need to be able to do that. I actually bought new items. I just bought a bunch of things. These are tights and stuff that dancers need.
We decided to pool all our money together to get a total of $60. And what we did with the $60 is we went to a local Walmart and we bought a bunch of animal supplies like dog beds, food, cat beds, cat food, cat litter, and we're going to donate them all to a local animal program.
I got my cat from a shelter, so it feels really good to give back to other animal shelters.
People often forget that animals need help too, and I think it's a great thing to do even if you don't have a pet or anything that you call a pet.
I decided to take my $20 bill and give it to the school library. Everyone was doing stuff outside of the school and people we just don't normally see. So I just decided maybe I could find something inside of the community, inside of the school, that I could do where some people or everyone could benefit from. When I gave the money to Miss Decino, originally I was thinking this wouldn't help at all, no one would even care, maybe she won't even accept it because she wouldn't know what to do with it. But when I gave it to her, her reaction was really extravagant and she was so excited and she was just in shock. She kept asking, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" And I describe it as a parent giving their child a puppy for Christmas or something. So I was walking with a friend, and when I walked out, I was telling him oh my goodness, I didn't know that she would be so excited to get a $20 bill to pay off people's library fines. So I was just telling him that made me feel so good. I didn't know that it would make a difference at all and that she would be so excited to have it. And I found out that it paid 4 seniors fines that wouldn't have been able to graduate if they hadn't have had their fines paid off, and some other people.
I decided to buy clothes and donate it to the nurse's office at school, because at my old school before I came to hatboro-horsham, one time I threw up all over myself and I went to the nurse's office and they had this big stack and pile of clothes in the corner, and then they gave me an extra outfit, and I just thought it was really cool that if anything were to happen, if any accidents were to happen, they had extra clothes to give people so they didn't have to sit in dirty clothes and their parents didn't have to come to school, they didn't have the inconvenience to do sort of that stuff.
I went to the store with my mom and bought chicken and potatoes and carrots and rolls and muffins, and my mom donated a little bit of money to get some extra stuff for the muffins and rolls. But with the $20, we were able to get enough chicken and vegetables to make 20 individual meals to donate to Meals on Wheels.
I paid a woman's dinner bill off because she didn't have enough money with my $20. And so basically it made me feel a nice person, I guess, because you don't usually do that for people.
I decided to get into contact with my mom's friend, who's a doctor at a nursing home, and then decided to make contraction carrots, and they're for patients who just suffered some sort of nerve damage or after a stroke. Their hands tend to clench up, skin on skin, and that can cause serious damage. So that doesn't happen, these contraction carrots, they can just be slid right into their hand by a nurse, and they can just grab onto that. I went to Joann's Fabrics and Crafts and got some colorful fabrics and some cool materials to make the contraction carrots. And when I first saw a picture of a contraction carrot, I thought it looked like an ice cream cone. Just so, to add a fun twist, I decided to get some cute little fabrics that might make it look a little more like that. Okay, so after making myself a template, I had finally gotten the right cone shape and I had sewn little loops on the bottom. The fun part was adding the colorful fabric and a little cherry pom-pom on top to decorate. So basically what a nurse will do is when their hands are all clenched up, they'll just slide this little tie in and just pull it down their hands, and then it's really cute and they can grab onto it, and yeah.
Hannah and I decided to make blankets for dogs and cats and other animals. So we went to Joann's Fabric and we got these felt fabrics, and we cut slits out of them and then we tied them together to make blankets. And we're going to donate them to local animal shelters.
And we've decided to make these blankets for a $20 project because it's a great way to raise awareness for local animal shelters.
I knitted and donated baby hats for premature babies with heart conditions. This was donated to the American Heart Association for hospitals that participated in the program. With the money, I bought $20 worth of red yarn from Michaels, and it had to be red because it marked that the child had a heart condition. The reason I wanted to do baby hats is because I thought it would be special to make something that would go towards benefiting others. It made me happy that I knew something would benefit a baby with a heart condition.
With my money, I purchased $20 worth of American flags from Lowe's and took them to White Marsh Memorial Cemetery.
I just put up all these flags right here. Veterans, graves,
Some were from like World War II, World War One. Memorial Day inspired me, and then also my grandfather was a soldier in World War II, so that inspired me as well. And it made me feel like good knowing that I was giving back to the community. Like, karma's a circle, like it'll go, like you pass good karma on other people, like automatically I'm doing something good, I feel better about it, I feel like happy knowing I'm helping someone.
So we decided to make a care package to send to the troops. I wanted to do something that was more for like the community, but like not our community, like just not around here, but like people who I know like would appreciate it and stuff. Like I know a lot of people who are in the Army, and I thought it'd be fun to give back to them, you know? It made me feel proud, because afterwards I was sharing what I did with like family members, and the one lady who I talked to said that she worked with the dude who got like a care package, and she said that it makes them feel really good, and that made me feel happy.
I decided to use the $20 and my own money to make Jared boxes, which are shoebox-sized plastic boxes filled with toys and games for kids in the hospital. This organization was started by kids in State College for their friend Jared, who was battling cancer, and they wanted to make sure that all kids in the hospital had toys to play with during this hard time. So with the money, I went to the store and bought all kinds of toys and games and stuff for kids of all different ages, and there were lots of superhero and princess stuff, coloring books, and stickers, and a bunch of other stuff that they would like to play with. And with all this stuff, I ended up making 15 boxes. And after they were all finished and decorated, I included a note to brighten their day even more. So when they were all completely done, I called Abington Hospital and asked when I could drop them off. So when I was outside waiting for the volunteer coordinator to pick them up, I met a lady who was parking for a relative, and I talked to her and told her what I was doing, and she was very grateful. She said that her nephew used to have to go to CHOP pretty often to get blood work done, and he was always really scared, but he always got a Jared box when he went, and it made him feel a lot better, and she was just like really grateful that I was doing this, and it made me feel really good doing this project, so I got to brighten the day of a bunch of kids like that little boy who are really scared going through what they're going through in the hospital, and it felt good to brighten their day.
I decided to use it to pay for someone's takeout meal at where I work at Angelo's.
Okay, so for my school, we're doing a project where a teacher gave each of us $20 and we're supposed to do something kind with it. So your food is all taken care of. Yeah, so you're good.
It seemed like I made him happy, and you never know what people are going through, so maybe this could have made his day or made him inspired to do something kind too. And then he left me a $10 tip, and I decided to give that to one of my coworkers, Morgan, and she decided to give that to one of our other coworkers, and it kind of just went around because everyone was feeling inspired. And I think if I got the opportunity again, I would definitely do it again because it makes you feel good. There's really no other way to explain it.
I went to the carnival that was in town, and I bought around 40-ish tickets with $20 and some of my own money, and I just went around giving it to people. I think it's just a random act of kindness that I think would definitely brighten up my day personally. It felt good to give back, even if it was something small like that.
Me and my family added $30 more to what Miss Ulmer gave us of the $20 to give to this family that we know does a lot for the community and is expecting their third child, and they don't really have a lot to do and have a lot of money to spend. So we bought a Visa gift card to give to them for them to go out to dinner one night so they can get away from all this pain and stress before the baby comes.
Through this, I learned that even the smallest things can make an impact.
From this experiment, I learned that it doesn't take much to make a change.
It was just way easier than I thought it would be to make someone's day. We see a lot of people who make really big changes that impact the world in really big ways, but we don't see a lot of people who make really small changes that impact people in the same amount or bigger ways.
And doing this really gave me a sense of pride and made me feel good inside because knowing I impacted someone's day or even life and knowing that that will probably transform into someone else helping other people throughout the world.
I realized that in the long run this helps a lot. Even though it's a little bit, it's a lot.
And just basically overall I learned that giving back is always a good thing.
And every donation can count because there's so many different places that can give.
A simple act can go a long way, and that you don't need money, you don't need anything like over the top. All you need to do is you could even give it a simple smile. And I think this project just teaches that we should be giving more instead of taking everything for granted.
I think I learned that it doesn't really take much to help other people, and you can help other people doing things that you enjoy doing. Honestly, it made me feel a little bit proud, I'd stepped out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I was able to do something good that was for someone other than me.
From this experience, giving back all this money really made me feel so happy that I was helping with families who were affected, because from personal experience, I know how quickly these expenses can add up, and just made me feel really happy knowing that even a small amount of money can make a big impact on someone's life.
It made me feel good, and it made me realize that even things that we wouldn't think would affect people can make such a big difference.
I learned that with a little bit of effort, I could brighten the day of a bunch of kids that are in a tough situation. I'm definitely going to do this project again. I'm going to make more Jared boxes and do more acts of kindness.
And the ability to affect that many people with only an hour or two of work and a very small amount of money just shows how much you can do. No matter what you have, where you are, you can do good, you can affect people and make people's days better. And I don't know, I guess I just learned the value of small charities, and that you don't need to donate $500 to something in order to make a difference. Yeah.